Hey everyone. So a while ago, somebody posted a vid making a comment about how somebody knurled their pistons and gained, I don't know, 5 horsepower, 10 horsepower, or something like that. I mean, 5, 10 horsepower is nothing to joke at, nothing to sneeze at, right? And then I made a short little vid just explaining my experience with knurling a piston. And, just kind of got caught up in the whole controversy and stuff like that. This whole channel is about helping a beginner to sort through all the stuff, helping him make his own informed opinion, and, hopefully helping him get his project going. And for me at that time, knurling that piston did just that. It got me going. Ultimately, it failed. And the reason it failed, and I don't see too many comments, and this is exactly what I was trying to, shine light on in my vid, is when you knurl something, like especially a piston skirt, right? You're putting ridges in it. You're putting indents in it. That swells the metal beside it. That is now thinner. You've created quite the little stress riser in there. And especially something like a piston skirt, they're under a lot of side load. That's why mine failed. I know that's why mine failed, without a doubt. And I just wanted to explain that to people. One guy, and I'm sorry, you commented on my vid, and I can't remember your name. He kind of clued into what I was trying to say, and he was a machinist, so he knew exactly, that was the way it is. And like he said, even when you machine a shaft or, grind a crankshaft, anything like that, you got to have a radius between the flange and the journal, or you get a stress riser in that sharp corner and it breaks. Cranks break all the time because they don't put a radius in there. So you can't have sharp inside corners. You can't have stress risers in your engine and stuff like that. One of the guys, I read one article there where they did a dyno test and actually proved that the engine made, I can't remember the number, 5, maybe 8 horsepower more. Went out, the thing was a bullet on the racetrack. After the race, they dynoed again, and it was actually 5 or 8 horsepower less, not less than what they started, but less than what it would have been if the piston hadn't been knurled. So my way of thinking, it's the end of the race where you want the power, not the beginning. I mean, you're just trying to survive the race. At the end, you make that mad dash. And so I don't really see where that was beneficial. Anyways, on the topic of knurling, I'm quite vocal about that. This is a knurling device. This knurls your valve guides. I don't have one sitting here. Anyways, this knurls your valve guide. If you have a worn valve guide, and you got a little bit too much valve stem clearance, and your valve is, a little bit loose in there, a lot of people run this knurling tool through there. They'll run a reamer or a hone through there to finish the bore off, tighten up the valve. In my opinion, any knurling device in an engine has a perfect place in the garbage. I'll never knurl a guide. Absolutely never. For the time it takes to knurl a guide, just bore it out and press an insert in. And I wish I had one sitting here with me right now. Maybe I do. Yeah, it's right here. Just, yeah. And I know some of you guys are going to say, well, first of all, before I go down that road, and you have so many options with these. You can get them hardened for running a stainless steel valve. You can have a spiral oil groove put in the things for extra oiling. There's just a lot you can do with your guides. Your engine's only as good as your cylinder head, and your cylinder's only as good as your valve guide. Now, a lot of guys are going to say, well, you can buy these knurled. Why would you buy a knurled guide if they're no good? They're not knurled. That's a spiral oil groove. The valve, when you knurl it, your valve's riding on the peaks. It doesn't have much surface area. When these have the spiral groove in them, they knurl it and then they machine it to the size, and they cut them peaks off, so you still have a lot of surface area between your guide and your valve. But what's left of that little knurl makes a beautiful little oil passage to help lubricate. So, yeah, these appear to be knurled, but they're not knurled in the sense of a knurling. The other thing I want to touch on, and this just happened to me coincidentally when we're talking about this stuff. So I just got an engine in here. It's a big block Chevy. Actually, if you look around, you'll see half a dozen of them. Somebody on this one knurled the lifter bores of all things. Well, I guess it must have had a loose lifter bore. And instead of bushing it, he knurled it and then honed it to the proper size. But of course now, and this thing doesn't have very many hours on it, you know, it's not much surface area there for that lifter to wear on, to rub on. It's gotten really sloppy. And so now I have no choice, and of course he had to knurl them all. Now I have no choice. I have to bore out 16 multi-angled lifter bores and press bushings in and then machine the bushings. I mean, we're talking 6 hours of labor here. Knurling has no place in an engine. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. I'm probably going to get a little bit of slack over that. But anyways, I just wanted to share on that. And you know what? I'm not trying to offend anybody. If knurling works for you, it works for you. It doesn't work for me. Tell me what you think. If you agree with me, fine. If you don't disagree, that's fine. Let's just have some more fun with it, discussing this option. But I'm kind of here for all of the beginner guys. You just want to go out and have some fun, build a hot rod, go drag racing, you know, whatever. So I hope I'm helpful with my opinions. Having a great day, everyone.